Wake up with us, it's time to rise and shine. Morning mayhem's on the air, we're feeling fine. We got a motto, Tomlin and Mama Manning too. Bringing you the latest, there's nothing we can't do. Morning mayhem, it's a wild ride. Sports news and the daily updates, we're on your side. Special guests and interviews galore. We're taking over Woodland Regional, we're knocking down the door.
Good morning, and we're knocking down the door of Wednesday, May 15th. It's a little drizzly out there. It's not the greatest of May 15th. It's about 53 degrees, but it looks like that's going to drop off later in the afternoon and give way to a cloudy 60. So it's should be all right this afternoon if you're looking to get outside to do some things. But it is definitely a weird day. I passed a truck this morning. It was Mike's Mayonnaise. It was an 18-wheeler container truck, just Mike's Mayonnaise. I'm in my head, I'm going, who's taking a delivery of nothing but mayonnaise? Who's getting a pallet of mayonnaise? And then it made me think about how much the school goes through.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
BJ's something.
Yeah. Oh, maybe they're just, the big 5-gallon buckets of mayonnaise. Restaurants. Do you go through that much mayonnaise? I haven't worked in a restaurant. Yeah. I know. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you get a pallet of mayonnaise?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that answers my question. That was the thought of the day.
Big, massive 5-gallon tubs.
Oh,
my
boy.
God, yeah.
All right. GSA has a game day meeting Monday, May 20th. That's going to be from 2 to 3 o'clock in room 212. That's game day meeting. So if you have games you want to play, that is the day and the room to show up at. This week's the Media Center's pom-pom poll of the week is pool or beach. And that's going to be May 13th through 17th. Make sure you get your voting in. The Woodland Hawks baseball team has their 2024 alumni game Sunday, May 19th. That's this Sunday morning at 11 a.m.
First ever.
First ever. Oh, I didn't realize it was first ever. The first ever alumni game. I love it. And tomorrow we're going to have a pilot in training, Ava Laudadio. So make sure you're listening for that. Congratulations again to the CASCIAC Scholar athletes, Nick LaChapelle and Kassie Mulligan.
Woohoo!
Spring Fine Arts night is right around the corner. By around the corner, I mean 24 hours, a little bit longer than that. Let's say about 30, 37, 38 hours away. And that'll be down in the Fine Arts Wing, 5:30 to 7 p.m. Tomorrow, yes. And then the Veterans Forum is May 23rd. And then if you're still interested in that, see Mr. Collins or Miss Stevens and ask for attendance privilege to show up for that. And don't forget, Best Buddies Prom is May 31st. Tickets are available, $5 a piece, and they're going to be on sale in the cafeteria. And be a good friend and return your books. And don't make Miss D. Alexander hunt you down. Make sure that your books are back by May 31st or thereabouts. Let's see what else we got today in news. Oh, don't forget to charge your Chromebook and listen to us every morning at 7 a.m. or thereabouts at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can find all the rest of our shows on Spotify. Today in history. Today marks the day that the McDonald brothers opened up the first official McDonald's. And they had it known as the McDonald's Famous Barbecue. And they just had... that wasn't the business they wanted, so they fired their 20 car hops and they automated. And this was the beginning, the revolution of the fast food. Not that everybody knew, they thought they were crazy, and they limited their menu to 9 items: hamburgers, cheeseburgers, soft drink, 3 of them, and milk, coffee, potato chips, and pie. And it wasn't until they added what menu item that really took off?
French fries.
French fries. And milkshakes. French fries and milkshakes. I would also take milkshakes.
What year was that?
Milkshakes.
That was
milkshakes
1940.
1940.
In 1992, Hanson was created.
Oh
my God.
Hanson.
Oh my God.
I don't know the words to Hanson's song Bop, except for
There are no words.
There
were words?
There were words. Bop. All right. Birthdays for today are Andy Murray, professional tennis champion, and Ray Lewis, legendary Baltimore Ravens linebacker, and Huddy Chase Hudson, social media personality entertainer known on TikTok. Do you know him? I don't know. I just saw his name. I'm going, maybe people know him. He seems to be famous. He was listening on the internet, and the internet sent him wrong. And happy International Straw Hat Day. I don't know why you're not wearing a chapeau.
Well, if you saw my social media this morning, I did post about it. However, it's raining, and I don't want to destroy my...
Rain
Although
is
I did have I had a
of-
whole planned out to be rocking my boater this morning, but not in the
Yeah,
rain.
see, that would all come together. Would have all come together. It's also, I don't know why this is a day, but bring flowers to someone day.
Oh, that's a day.
Isn't that like Valentine's Day or
Oh, you can bring me
Mother's
flowers any day.
Day? That's what I'm saying. So does it need another day of just bring flowers?
Oh, it does.
Okay.
It does.
All right.
Shake
I
your
thought
head,
that's
yes.
every day you do something wrong, you have to bring flowers to your wife. It is also the first month I'm going to talk about. It's Zombie Awareness Month. You're supposed to wear gray and make people aware that there could be a zombie apocalypse at any time. I am celebrating with my gray t-shirt today, Zombie Apocalypse Awareness Month. And over the
What a
sports
look.
desk, Mama Manning.
All right, good
Words
morning.
escape.
Lots to report. Okay, Monday scores. Girls softball fell to Seymour 5-11. Boys baseball destroyed Holy Cross 11-0. Boys tennis lost to Holy Cross 1-4. Yesterday, boys tennis crushed Kennedy 5-0 in a postseason match. Boys baseball slipped to St. Paul 8-7 in the last game of the season.
That's a tough one.
That was tough. Today we have boys golf facing Seymour away at 2:45. I say away, but of course it's home, Oxford Greens. Girls tennis is away at Wolcott 3:30 in postseason action. Girls softball travels to Pomperaug in a non-league game starting at 4.
But they're still in season? So we
Yes.
have some that are starting the postseason and
Yes.
some that are still in regular season.
Yes. Yep. Caitlin Clark
Caitlin Clark
had her WNBA debut
against the Sun.
against the Sun. She had 20 points, but the Sun prevailed.
Yeah, they did. They looked like they had the game in control. I did. That was another game I
92-71.
did watch. I
Oh,
did watch a
watched
bit of that.
one. Yep. Of course, Celtics will try to close their series tonight against the Cavs at
Let's
7
go.
p.m. Let's go. Mavs are the later game at 9:30 against the Thunder. They're tied 2-2. Of course, Nuggets are still going.
They are. That
Three-
game
3-2.
seems like they're always playing. I don't know. Every time I turn the TV on, the Nuggets are on there.
Yeah. Knicks don't play again until Friday.
Are they traveling?
That's game. They're 3-2. So that's game 6.
Game 6.
Yes.
So they must be traveling back to New York.
And the Bruins won last night,
Yes, they did.
2-1.
Yeah.
They're 2-3 in their series against the Panthers.
And they held off a 6-5 at the end because they pulled the goalie with 3.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, the Hurricanes were getting after
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I almost had to travel to the game. Shout out to the parents and grandparents who listen to us.
Indeed.
As I've been told, what is their favorite part of the show?
Sports?
No,
Oh, really?
no,
Interviews?
No.
Tomlin's News.
no,
The weather update.
no.
Talking about mayonnaise trucks?
First thing,
What's that?
The song?
Oh, the
the song and the dancing we do.
All right.
So
Good.
thank you, parents and grandparents.
Good to know. Good to know. And that's the sports with Mama Manning. Over the news desk with Tomlin.
Morning, a couple top stories to start your day. First off, 70 years ago this week, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled separating children's schools by race was unconstitutional. This decision, the fabled Brown versus Board of Education, taught in most every American classroom still stands.
A little education there this
There
morning.
you go.
Very,
Starting off.
very
Well, I
important.
figured you went with I was going to initially talk about my straw hat day.
Oh,
which
you
I'm
were? I'm sorry. I didn't mean
No,
that.
no.
All right.
I was listening to you go through it. I'm like, he's not going to talk about it. He's not going to. And then you
I
did, which
did.
makes me very happy. And
I have to
and-
research those, and then I look them up and find the history of why they're there.
Oh,
And some of them are just made up, and they don't make any sense.
Straw
but
Hat Day is essential.
Straw Hat Day is a thing.
with
stole-
its
You
concurrence.
stole his thunder
I
Uh,
did.
like a Mav.
Oh.
Do you know the origins of that phrase?
No, I don't.
It's from the theater in the 1700s in London.
Oh gosh, outdoors,
Indoors.
indoors.
Thunder. A particular director discovered a new way to make thunder noise.
Is that
Oh.
with the sheet metal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he used it in a rubbish play that didn't do very good. And then his competitor put forward a play and stole the noise. And the initial guy says something along the lines of, not only did he steal my customers, but he stole my thunder.
Oh.
So that's supposedly
Look at us
the origins
learning on a
of that
Wednesday
story.
morning.
I know. And you knew what day it was.
And I knew what day it was.
All right. Biden
I'm
administration.
awake.
President Biden and his administration is sending $1 billion more in weapons ammo to Israel, according to congressional aides. All right, Zelensky, president of Ukraine, postpones all upcoming foreign visits as Ukraine faces a new offensive. This comes with a little mixed information. The head of the Ukrainian spy agency says that the frontier is holding, although they are worried about two sectors where Russia is building up forces. Russia says that they've done a massive breakthrough. So still developing sort of story.
And they've kind of defended themselves against the Ukraine drones by putting a second layer on the turtle tank. So
Yes.
there's like that
Wow.
shielding
Yes.
they put up of steel, and now they put a second layer of shielding. Of course, the
Yes.
turret can't move
No.
as wide.
It's
It's
basically
protecting them from those little mini explosives.
They've turned their tanks basically into mobile pillboxes, which brings us all the way back to World War I, when the first things were initially created, and you had to move the whole tank anyway. So
but
in
we'll
a
see,
certain way,
we'll see
it's
the Ukrainian army come up with something else.
listen, 1920s, 20s, same difference. All right, a miniature poodle named Sage wins the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. I'm surprised that this wasn't in our sports update.
No.
All right.
she said,
Wow. The Justice Department says Boeing violated a deal that avoided prosecution after 737 MAX crash. The Justice Department has determined that Boeing violated the settlement that allowed the company to avoid criminal prosecution after two deadly crashes. Bird flu in the U.S., dairy cows. This comes after a social media craze over the health benefits of drinking non-pasteurized milk. So we're now seeing a rise in the sale of raw unpasteurized milk. And
unpasteurized.
Unpasteurized. There's an entire
non-homogenized, but unpasteurized.
So
just seems dangerous.
there's a whole TikTok social media move arguing
TikTok.
that
Well, there you go.
that it's healthier and it gives you more nutrients and you should give it to children and that's the only thing you should drink and fresh. So the FDA just wants to remind everyone that it is dangerous and there's a high possibility of getting bird flu by drinking.
That's all. Okay.
Non-pasteurized, non-homogenized milk.
With your cereal.
Yeah, with your cereal. The firing of Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and members of his team may be linked to a leak in nuclear secrets. An expert has claimed as Vladimir Putin's defense minister purge continues. This comes on the tail of not only the removing of defense minister, but then the arresting of two high-ranking generals, including also the former defense minister's deputies have also been requested to resign. And last bit, beginning today is the first ever, and this is going to go today, tomorrow, and Friday, the first ever national election for the National Student Council, of which Connecticut has one candidate on the books to serve as a national vice president. And this candidate also happens to be from Woodland and currently is the president-elect of the WRSG, as well as the parliamentarian of the Connecticut Association of Student Councils.
Well, just like I stole your straw hat, I think I'm gonna put you on the lead for that. Hold on, let me just close out the news. That's the news with Tomlin. This morning, our guest is introduced by Tomlin.
So with us this morning, we have Kassie Bailey, president-elect of the Woodland Regional Student Government, parliamentarian at the Connecticut Association of Student Councils, and candidate for vice president of communications for the newly created National Student Council, which ultimately will be a student body made up of representatives from across America. You have 25 states will be sending 2 representatives this year, of which Connecticut is going to be sending 2 representatives. Also an executive board made up of, I want to say, 6 different positions. So with us is Kassie Bailey, one of 4 candidates currently running and people live voting now because I believe, well, no, the polls open in 15 minutes. Student councils and governments across America will be able to vote for possibly Kassie Bailey.
Hello, my name's Kassie Bailey. Tomlin introduced me pretty well. I'm going for vice president.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Yeah, I'm going for vice president of communications for the National Student Council. I think I'm bringing in a lot of good ideas. I mean, I have to have something behind my campaign to make it to this point because I'm in the last 4. I'm really excited about this opportunity. Like, I wasn't involved in student council at all in the middle school, at this high school, and the high school just really brought me into it. And now we see where that's gone.
Well, that brings me to my next question. So the high school, you weren't really into it in middle school, but you got into it in high school. What brought you into politics? What got you into student government?
I feel like I was always interested in it, but I feel like in the middle school it wasn't advertised in a way that like really caught my attention. But I heard a lot about it in freshman year because I had Tomlin as a teacher,
That'll do it.
and that brought me in as a senator. And then this previous year, the parliamentarian left, which is what the position I ended up taking up, and then it's kind of building from there as like I get like more and more involved into the technical side of things, and I think that's really what caused me to expand, if that makes sense.
So you were just elected. We just had elections 2 weeks ago, and you are now the president-elect of the WRSG. What was your platform? What did you run on?
There was like I believe there were 6 different points me and my vice president ran on. We want to improve school bathrooms, improve locker rooms, improve vending machines. We want to lower senior study hall restrictions. So right now they can only have 2. So we're proposing that if they have enough credits, they can have more of those. We wanted to, I'm drawing a blank. We wanted to
Make Woodland better
yeah, just generally
overall.
make Woodland better. And I think that's why we're taking it more at a policy angle, because with events and stuff, of course we still run them, but we have a whole committee of senators who do that. But the executive cabinet is specifically who's meeting with Ogren to have these meetings and discussions, and that's why I feel it's important to try to be that voice, which especially is going to be more prevalent now that we're opening a suggestions box to all of Woodland soon. So if they have any problems, we can directly see them and bring them up, or try to do something at least.
All right. Well, what's one of your goals you hope to get done in the first year of your office? Because maybe there'll be a second year. We don't know.
Which one?
Because we're starting now. May.
So she's
first year as president.
Okay,
First year
president.
as president. Oh yeah,
She recently just became parliamentarian of the state. So I'm just curious which one you're asking about.
No, for this year as student president coming into the next school year, what is going to be the first goal? First thing you're going to lead on?
Well, obviously at the beginning of the year, we're going to have like a lot of meetings with Mr. Ogren, and we're going to bring up a lot of like the stuff we want to change, because getting it started earlier in the year is going to be the best route to actually getting stuff done. But in addition, my overall goal and like transition I want to see in the next year is to have a more connected and communicative environment, both in student government itself, between executive cabinet and senators, with the general WRSG and class council, and with the general student body and its connections and knowledge about student government and what we do as a whole.
Could you just give for the audience at home listening, the difference between class council and student government? Because I think sometimes that gets convoluted.
Yeah. So class council, every class has elected officers who focus on stuff for that specific class. So they'll run prom, any specific class events, and they'll fundraise for that class. Whereas the general, like the greater student government, which is what is our executive cabinet that I'm a part of, and the senators, we run school-wide events like homecoming and like our tournaments. Like we just had the cornhole tournament. Like we do school-wide stuff. And we focus on the greater Woodland, whereas they focus on their specific classes.
Oh, all right. Now, getting into politics, is there anyone you look up to that you said, all right, I'm going to model my career after this? It could be a student or an actual politician or an NBA star, for all I know. I don't know. But is there someone that you look up to and how they carry themselves in the political field?
I don't think I have a specific individual, but I really do appreciate focusing on stories of people who are coming from very little and use their own like integrity and like their motivation to get themselves in, like to motivate themselves and get themselves up into those higher positions, rather than someone who is, starting out kind of already in that sphere.
How would you say someone needs to get involved with our student senate here?
Well, I feel like, of course, I always love when to see people join. New voices allows us to see new ideas and brings more stuff into Woodland Regional Student Government, but also just like feeling open to talk to our senators, to share their ideas with us, regardless if they're involved or not, helps us, I feel, as a whole.
Well, it looks like you're going to be a great leader, get a great start the beginning of this year or the end of this year into next year. I want to thank you for coming on and give us more information about student government and what your plans are going to be. And I'm on behalf of the show, don't forget, she's Mama Man. He's Tomlin. Alma Motto. Good morning, Woodland.
It's a wild ride. Sports news and the daily updates. We're on your side. Special guests and interviews galore. We're taking over Woodland Regional. We're knocking down the door.
Every morning at 7 a.m.
Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram too. We're streaming on Spotify. We're reaching out to you. Join the Morning Mayhem crew.
Knocking down the door.